Just had a nurse I work with beaten by a patient with altered mental status. She has a concussion, sprained wrist, contusions, and is emotionally pretty shook up, of course. Come to find out that 2 days prior to this attack, the director of nursing was on call and called out to that same house and had to call for a backup nurse herself due to violent behavior. This nurse was not only sent in alone, but was never alerted to the risk and history. This is in a hospice nursing support group. The vast majority of hospice patients are treated in their home or a group home type setting. Okay, first of all, it has only been barely 2 years since the case of Joyce Grayson, a 63-year-old Connecticut home health nurse who was found dead in her patient's basement. Remember that? Everyone seems to have forgotten. And it's not an isolated incident. There have been others. It's not safe in home health or in any other healthcare settings. But there's huge precedent here, right? She was sent into the home of a known sex offender. In fact, it was a group home for convicted sex offenders, multiple. Her patient was on probation for stabbing and sexually assaulting a woman previously. And they sent her in there alone, they being Alara Caring, the employer. And she was found sexually assaulted and dead in the basement. Yeah, that guy, Michael Reese, he was convicted, sentenced to 50 years in prison, and the family was awarded $2 million. Why does anybody still work for Alara Caring? Why did you continue to stay there and work? Why have you gone and worked there since then? We have got to, as a profession, as a group, take a stand, draw a line in the sand, and stop working for these greedy, just horrific, evil companies that clearly will put nurses in harm's way to the point where we are killed for $1. What are we doing here? Now we have yet another one, a hospice nurse that has been aggressively assaulted, allegedly. I want to know where this happened. Someone out there knows. You work at that place, you know this nurse. Let me know. I want to know what company this was. Because here's the thing, according to that post, it was not unintentional. I repeat, it was not unintentional. They knew, and they sent a nurse in there anyway, just like in the case of Joyce Grayson. That nurse needs to sue the company and sue the DON. They are directly responsible for this. They are guilty. And FYI, in hospice, we can discharge patients for cause. I have personally done that. You put a nurse in harm's way, you even threaten to put a nurse in harm's way, you are off service immediately. But they don't want to do that, right? Because then that might mean that they lose a buck. It's only about money. Our lives do not matter to them. And you need to be reporting them to all the regulatory agencies because they are required by CMS and OSHA and others to provide safe working conditions. Take a look at the general duty clause for OSHA. Employers shall furnish each employee a workplace that is free from recognized hazards and that are likely to cause death or serious physical harm to its employees. They're required to do that. And CMS, their conditions of participation, they're required to do this, which means that their money, their reimbursement rate can be affected, can be decreased by failing to do this. You need to be reporting them. You all know I have always been extremely passionate about violence against healthcare workers. I've been addressing this for years. It's why I co-created the Red and Black Ribbon campaign to raise awareness about violence against healthcare workers. This is out of control. The fact that this is being posted still 2 years after Joyce Grayson is absolutely enraging to me. Nurses, you have got to put your money where your mouth is. You have got to take action. If you work for that employer, first of all, reach out to me. I will keep everything anonymous. I want to know who that company is. Let me know. But the fact that any of you keep working there, knowing that a DON allegedly knew about this and then sent a nurse in there to get her ass beat alone, and y'all keep showing up to work, what in the actual hell is wrong with you? Every damn one of you, when you found out about that, should have called in sick the next day, taken a stand, done something. Don't go back to work until things change, until they put into place these security measures that they are legally required to have in place. Stop bending over and taking it, because we are literally paying with our lives.